Continue to follow the breaking news out of the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys promoting from within, making Brian Schottenheimer their new head coach. He was the offensive coordinator the last 2 seasons, joined Dallas in 2022 as a coaching analyst, has 24 years of coaching experience in the NFL, but this will be his first head coaching job. Cowboys coming off a 7-10 season, parted ways with Mike McCarthy after 5 seasons in Dallas. Schottenheimer did not call plays under Mike McCarthy. He's going to be calling them now. He's going to be calling the shots. And Jerry Jones making an emphatic statement saying, quote, Brian Schottenheimer is known as a career assistant. He ain't Brian no more. He is now known as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And for more, welcome in 2-time Super Bowl champ Logan Ryan. Logan, he ain't Brian no more. He's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Your reaction to Brian Schottenheimer being promoted within?
I'm not going to lie, guys. I had to hop out of bed and get on Google and figure out who he was. I was not familiar. I spent a lot of time in the NFL, and I remember when Kellen Moore was calling plays over there, obviously Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett. I remember some of the offensive minds they've had in Dallas, but, you know, Schottenheimer has never called plays. I'm familiar with who his dad was, and obviously, no disrespect, Brian has spent a lot of years in the NFL behind the scenes, obviously as assistant head coach, or assistant coach. But this is a Jerry Jones move. You know, this is a Jerry Jones move, hire within. This is the trend there. I do not think this brings excitement to the Dallas Cowboys fans. I don't think they can act excited about this. I don't think this brings a lot of fear around the league. I don't think the Cowboys haters, I think they're probably cheering right now because we just don't know who this guy is. He's never head coached at any level, not the college level, not the NFL level, and he's not called plays there for Dak Prescott. So I don't know what he will be or what he can do, but this is not exciting, oh my God, we got our guy type news that some of these teams have felt like they got these last couple of days.
All right, well, 24 seasons of NFL coaching experience, no head coaching job. The offense 6th in points per game this past season, 9th in total yards per game the past 2 seasons. So the offense has been good. The defense has been not. What's his first order of business?
He's got to get some great defensive coaches over there. Dan Quinn was a great defensive coach in Dallas. I mean, they were causing a lot of turnovers when Dan Quinn was there. He obviously goes to the Commanders. You see how that team is playing right now, and the Dallas defense takes a dip. He loses Al Harris. Now, we know the Pro Bowl corner from Green Bay, Al Harris. He was their secondary coach. And those guys, the corners, Bland and Diggs, had a lot of turnovers these last couple of years, playing really well defensively under the defensive back coach. He leaves during the Mike McCarthy firing. So he's not retaining the coaches. A lot of coaches on the Cowboys staff have left at the McCarthy firing. So he's going to have to build his staff, and he's never going to do it defensively. And offensively, yes, Dallas was decent, but I don't think with the Dak injury, especially the offense was something to go crazy for. Sometimes I get worried when we hire all these head coaches because the quarterback is good, right? So we see Baker Mayfield's playing really good, so Liam Cohen must be a great head coach. Never was a head coach before. Josh Allen's playing good, so therefore Dable must be a great head coach. Or Joe Brady's going to be the next great head coach. Just because a quarterback's playing well doesn't mean the play call is going to be a great head coach. So Schottenheimer has not called the plays, and the offense is 6th or 9th in the league. Does that mean he's going to be a great head coach? I don't know. These are the questions I have as a player. Just because your quarterback is good doesn't mean you're going to be a good head coach.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Logan. That's an absolutely perfect take, especially from a former player yourself, having been in these conversations, been in these meeting rooms when you're looking at a new head coach and you're looking at assistants being hired. And I know you didn't have to go through a ton of head coaching changes in New England, but I know that you've been through them in your career. When you look at Dak Prescott, right, they signed him to this monster deal day 1 of the regular season on that first Sunday before the game. They kind of take their time signing CeeDee Lamb, dragging their feet on that. Now, I will say that Dak obviously likes Brian Schottenheimer. He came out and said he'll be ready for the next step. He has the right personality and brain, end quote. So when you hear that from Dak, does that give you any sort of encouragement?
I think that's telling. Dak is a franchise quarterback. I've played against Dak. People have their opinions on him because he plays for Dallas, and everyone's going to have opinions on that quarterback position in Dallas. He's a very, very good quarterback. He's a starting quarterback on most teams outside of those top 5 guys. Dak falls right there, and he's a good player. And if he's comfortable with the guy, and like I said, just because a guy doesn't call plays, or just because if he did call plays, has nothing to do with the head coaching decisions he has to make. He could be a very good head coach. I just haven't heard his name go through these circles in years. So Dallas has their quarterback in Dak. The problem has been Jerry Jones has been dragging his feet on a lot of these contracts, even his coaching decision, right? Kind of dragging his feet on this and maybe not getting the best, not getting Dak for a little cheaper, not getting the CD deal done. Get the Micah Parsons deal done as soon as possible. It's only going to cost you more later. Jerry Jones has been doing things at his own time these last couple of years, maybe for a lot more than that, but definitely these last couple of years when I was in the league. And I think this has been hurting them because their roster has aged, right? They haven't got fresh talent in there in a while, and they're kind of missing their Super Bowl window because a lot of those offensive and defensive linemen have aged out. So I think if you're going to start new in Dallas here, it's good to start it with Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. They got to build a team around those three.
You played defensive back in the NFL. Are you keeping Mike Zimmer as your defensive coordinator in Dallas?
Mike Zimmer's a very good coach. I know he's a very good coach for a while. Is he inspiring the players? Are they playing well in that scheme? Coaches have different schemes. That Mike Zimmer scheme, is it working? I don't know. Dallas had a lot of injuries this year, but I know he's respected. I think Schottenheimer might want a coach like Zimmer because he's been a head coach before. So that might be a coach you want in your staff. So I would keep Zimmer for his coaching experience to see if he can lean and help out Schottenheimer.
Well, for now, it is Brian Schottenheimer being promoted to head coach in Dallas, his first coaching job in the National Football League. Logan Ryan with his reaction here on CBS Sports HQ. And there is one job open in New Orleans, and they're looking to make the final hiring. They interviewed Anthony Weaver. They have Mike Kafka coming in on Saturday. They're going to speak with Mike McCarthy, possibly Joe Brady and Kellen Moore, according to an NFL Network report. So we will see how that shakes out in New Orleans. But on this night, the Cowboys making news, promoting Brian Schottenheimer to head coach.